So I am sharing my testimony because I believe my story carries with it a sense of hope. And today, thanks to Jesus, I have a successful business, I have a beautiful family, I have friends that can depend on me and that I depend on. And it wasn't always like this. I was introduced to drugs at a very young age, drugs and alcohol. And for me, because I was introduced to that at such a young age, that was a culture that I gravitated to. We moved around a bit as a child, and it didn't matter the school, the city, the town, that's the culture that I was identifying with. And right around 10th grade, I was introduced to methamphetamine. And it's a very addictive drug. By the end of the 10th grade, my family had imploded. My parents separated. And my mom, out of desperation, thinking that I was going to die in my addiction, sent me into a treatment facility, which I spent about 9 months at. And it was at that facility that I uncovered a lot of pain that I didn't know that was in my life, a lot of things that I hadn't dealt with growing up. And they gave me the tools to be able to deal with that pain and, life on life's terms in meaningful ways. And I was able to put some clean time together, stayed clean for a couple of years. And later on in my teenage life, I began drinking and smoking pot again, just partying, hanging out. Well, in my early 20s, I'm now a father, I've got a wife, and I start messing around with meth again. And it's interesting, for me, I picked up right where I left off. And within about 6-8 months, my life was on the verge of destruction, total destruction, and seeing the writing on the wall. I cried out to God, and He got me clean. I'll say He because that's how it was for me. So I'm doing well, put together 4 or 5 years clean time, I'm making good money, everything's going well in my eyes, and boom, divorce. Went through a terrible divorce, and about a year into the divorce, same thing, back to the same people, drinking, smoking pot. I thought God had turned His back on me. Before I knew it, I was using meth again. And within 1 year's time, I went from managing a company, making really good money, to not having anything, not seeing my children. I had been crying out to God, if you're real, save me. And it was at that point I started having run-ins with the law. And the judge gave me an ultimatum. He said, either you do this program and get clean, or you're going to jail. And for me, it was a pretty easy choice, but I think more importantly, I recognized that that was the opportunity that God was giving me to get clean, the one that I'd been asking for. To the addict who's still struggling, I would say, don't try to do it on your own. You've proven to yourself probably over and over and over that you don't have the strength to do it, and it's time to try something new. Trust people who have walked the path that you want to walk, and do the things that you think you can't do. Because I promise you, on the other side of that is freedom. It's a freedom you can't imagine right now. You can have a life you literally can't imagine right now. You can have freedom from those things. And to the families that are struggling and the loved ones that are struggling with someone going through addiction, they know that they're really messing up their lives. And what I would say is just to continue to encourage them. Don't support them, don't pay their phone bills, don't enable them, but encourage them in the right way and call out the good in them. That was a big thing for me, is my mother always spoke life over me. Even though she wasn't supporting me in any way, she always spoke life over me, and that was one of the key elements that helped me to get clean. So I encourage you, you can do it.